guys? Welcome to another video. Today we're reviewing Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This one came out in 1990 and was directed by James Cameron and stars Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton. Now before we start, hit the like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you can know for every video, and let's just start. Let's start talking about the good. So all the actors and actors in this film, I thought they were all fantastic, especially Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, and Robert Patrick. They're all very, very good in this film. The opening sequence is creepy and it's awesome. It's a futuristic battle. It's humans versus robots. Very, very entertaining and a perfect opening sequence for this film. The cinematography, which of course includes shots of cameras, the lighting, fantastic. James Cameron did a great job with the lighting, especially for this film. There's a lot of blue lighting in this film, especially when you get into that third act. And I really like that about it because it captures that futuristic tone of the film. The first act of the film I thought was great. It sets up the characters very well. Some characters didn't need a setup because of course we saw them in the previous film, but John Connor, of course we had to set him up, and he was a good addition to the Terminator franchise, and of course he is one of the most important characters, if not the most important character in the entire franchise. The action sequences are awesome. James Cameron did a phenomenal job in the action sequences. There is one action sequence in particular, which is the bar fight and the chase sequences. The chase sequence especially is very, very, very exciting and very entertaining. The second half of the film I thought was very well done and was very entertaining. James Cameron did a very good job with that second act because he kept the film moving and it's very, very fast paced. So the second act of the film was entertaining. The story. Now, James Cameron knows how to write his stories. With this, Aliens, everything that James Cameron does is fantastic. And the story for this film is one of his best stories that he's ever made for any film. So I thought the story was very, very well done. There is a great villain. Robert Patrick plays the T-1000. He's awesome and he's very creepy. Of course, he has the ability to turn into different people because he's a Terminator, and it's really creepy what he does because there are some sequences of course it's discovered in the first film, but I've always found it creepy that the Terminator has to kill people. Well, in this case the T-1000 needs to kill people in order to become them. That is one of the most unique things that I've ever seen in a sci-fi film, and it's very, very creepy, and Robert Patrick is phenomenal in this film. The CGI is awesome. I really, really like the CGI. The special effects do look a little bit dated. Some of them look dated, but they're still awesome to look at. And the practical effects, of course, you can never go wrong with James Cameron's practical effects. Linda Hamilton. There are some great voiceover sequences with Linda Hamilton. Her voiceovers really work because she's explaining about her son and what the Terminator has to do with her son and all this futuristic things, and I really, really liked her voiceover. There's also a great relationship between the Terminator and John Connor, who he actually teaches the Terminators human things, and it brings another level of emotion to the Terminator because of what I will get into later, but when it gets into that third act, it's full of emotion, and I think that John Connor's relationship with the Terminator is very, very well done in this film. It's explored very well, and I think it's perfectly fit for this film. There are also many creepy, intense sequences. This is a sci-fi action film, but the first one was leaning more into the horror aspect. This definitely still has some horror aspects in it, especially with Terminator. There is one sequence in this film that has always scared me, and is the guy who is really helping to build. Well, he really works with the Skynet stuff and all that, where they need to ask him to basically just destroy everything, and he ends up dying by getting shot, and that is one of the most horrifying sequences that I've ever seen. When I first saw the film, it was terrifying. There are also many hilarious sequences, especially with the Terminator learning human things. Really, really like the incorporation of the hilarious sequences in this film. There are also many iconic lines of dialogue. Of course, you have "Hasta la vista, baby." I love that line. This is very, very well done with the lines of dialogue. James Cameron, I thought, did a great job with every single line of dialogue for the Terminator. There is also great sound design. I'll get to the score later, but the sound design for this film, especially with the guns And with the actual futuristic battle in the opening sequence where you have those lasers, the sound design is phenomenal, especially for an 80s film. And the score, Brad Fiedel, who made the score for this film, he's phenomenal. The score for this film is very, very well done, and it captures that futuristic tone of this entire film. The third act of the film I thought was fantastic. You have the perfect third act. You have explosions, there's a helicopter sequence, you have many emotional sequences. It makes for a perfect third act because, of course, you have that emotional ending sequence with the death of the T-8000 Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I really, really thought that they handled it very well. Of course, he's still alive, so, well, different versions of the Terminator, so I guess he's not really dead, but if they would have stopped with this film, I think it would have been a perfect conclusion. That's about it. There's, of course, nothing bad about this film. Terminator 2 Judgment Day is a phenomenal sequel. It manages to top its predecessor, and it is one of my favorite sci-fi films of all time, and I highly recommend it, and I'm going to give Terminator 2 Judgment Day an A. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and post notification bell so you can know if I have a video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.